well, I take that back. I knew about him, and what little bit I had read, I was pretty sure he didn't want to have anything to do with me. Because when I read the Beatitudes and what Jesus said, blessed is the man who is pure. Blessed is the man who is humble. I came away thinking, I'm not that man. I thought I had to qualify to get into the kingdom. Right. Nobody told me that I was disqualified from birth, and it was Jesus who invites me into his house. Not because I could earn it. But see, a lot of us didn't grow up that way. Your value is in what you make or in somebody else's opinion.
One of the things that, Rob, I want to just say on this one, is misplaced dependency. We often go to these bad things, but I've seen it also done in church. Where, hey, I'm in the church every time the doors are open, not because I necessarily want to worship the Lord, but because instead of depending on these unhealthy things, I'm depending on something that's seemingly healthy in an unhealthy way. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So you're depending on something and what you think is healthy, but you're doing it in an unhealthy way. So it's the same thing. It just looks better.
When we get to those dark, empty places, we may be performing on the outside, but we're trying to survive on the inside. Yes. And we're not talking about it. Because who are you going to talk to? Here's what some of it looks like. We suppress emotions. We're angry. We're unforgiving. We got self-hatred going on. We got to control everything. We're afraid we're going to lose everything. We're shameful. We don't lack intimacy because the very people who I needed intimacy from, they hurt me. So why would I go back there to get more? I learned not to trust people. I learned that women will let you down. And eventually you won't be good enough for them. This is what dating can teach you. See, unless a dating relationship ends in marriage, all of them end, right? Somebody's going to feel like they're not good enough. So that's a word for some parents out there. You know, guard against that dating thing because it's not, I told my daughter, I said, it's only going to end one of two ways. I'm going to hand you off to him or he's going to hurt you. It's probably only going to go one of two ways.
Put your hands on him.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But lack of intimacy, you can't get close to and be honest with something you think is going to hurt you, so you back away and find something else to make you feel good.
My Lord.
We sexualize relationship. That's part of the response to trauma. If you have been... We find that most early exposure, physical exposure to sexual activity is amongst relatives, children, cousins.
Someone close.
Someone close.
Yeah.
It's not always, in fact, it's rarely with the intention of hurting the child. It's often two children who are experimenting. But the point is, they're waking up their biology before their mentality is ready to deal with it. Okay. And these feelings start, the brain starts kicking in. All they know is this feels good. They don't even know what to do with it. But that's what we mean by sexualizing, because before the young brain can know morally, hey, this isn't right, the immature brain says this feels good. And it just keeps going there. The opposite would be anti-sexuality. Because they've been hurt by sexual experiences, they're not going to do anything sexual. They're going to deny their God-given creation and say, I'm just not going to do that. It's just like when you eat. How many of y'all got tired of your stomach coming over and you say, you know what, I'm going to stop eating. I'm just not going to do that anymore. You know what? It doesn't work. That's what makes this addiction, different. We talked to a brother recently and said, I was delivered from drugs and alcohol and different things. He believed God took it from him because testimony has stood true. He has taken it. He said, but he didn't take this one. Because you can abstain from alcohol the rest of your life and be perfectly healthy. But you can't deny something God put in you. You've got to manage your sexuality. You can't just deny it. You've got to learn how to manage it. That's why as an addiction, it's closer to food as an addiction than it is to alcohol or drugs or cigarettes. Because you got to manage food. You can't just stop eating, right? Let me ask a question. Give me an honest answer. Would you all be good with a 5-minute break to hit the restroom? I'm looking at the whole. Would you all be good just to stand and walk around just for 5 minutes, and then we come back because we want you all to be engaged and give you a chance to just take a break. Can we do that? Okay, just 5 minutes. The restroom and